I'm Mysterious Person Behind the Screen, and welcome back to the updated 2017 thoughts. Now, hey, we've upgraded. I can't call it updated 2016 thoughts anymore. So, this time we're talking about a season that I think is generally overlooked when talking about Classic Who in general, and it's honestly a season that I really like, and that is season 19. So we start off the Fifth Doctor's first season with his first story, Castrovalva, and Castrovalva's an okay one. I used to really like it, and my opinion's gone down on it over the years. I think I like the stuff when they're on the TARDIS and everything's going wrong and the Fifth Doctor's loopy because of his regeneration. I like all that stuff, but the stuff on Castrovalva shows its age a bit, and I didn't really enjoy it on this most recent viewing. Can I just say though, the soundtrack when Nyssa, Tegan and Adric are escaping the police following on from the events of Logopolis, the soundtrack is so mad, but it's so cool. It's like, it plays this 80s rock synthy thing as they're escaping. It's like, it's weird, but I love it. I always love that scene, and like, it's actually one of the menus on this. I'm not sure if it's the main menu or special features menu or an audio menu, but on this DVD it's actually a menu option, and I can just flick it on and just hear the soundtrack. That's a mad scene in general though. But I really like parts 1 and 2 and part 3 and 4. I can take it or leave it. So I suppose it's a 5 out of 10 actually, because half of it's good and half of it I don't really care for. Next up, For to Doomsday. For to Doomsday is an interesting story. It has potential. The potential doesn't really show through on screen though. It's interesting. There's some cool stuff in it. It's interesting to look at Peter Davison's performance, considering this was his first story that they shot. They shot Castrovalva after this. So he was sort of more comfortable in the role. Can I just say the ending of Castrovalva is amazing, where he just goes, "It's absolutely splendid." It's great. For Doomsday's interesting. Monarch's cool. The robot guy's cool. I've forgotten his name. And I think the bit where the Fifth Doctor catches the cricket ball in space to propel him along is a pretty cool scene. But other than that, I don't really rate this story that highly. For a season I quite like, it's not going great so far. But Kinder, yes, the first great story of the season, and Kinder is great. I really like Kinder. It's really creepy. The bit where Tegan's under the, what is it, the dream chime thing? The chimes of dreams? I don't know. And she starts seeing the Mara and stuff. And you get so much scary visuals. This scares me. The bit where the guy, I need to watch that scene again, because there's so many. There's the weird creepy guy who just starts smiling eerily at her in a dark room, and the fact that I think it's shot on film as well, it's so creepy. I really like it, and I can never decide when I watch this to watch the CGI effects or not, because the Mara at the end of the original cut, it's pretty bad. He's got this rubber inflatable balloon animal going. It's weird, but yeah, I really like Kinder. I really rate it highly. I really enjoyed the characters as well. I think this has a strength that I got really invested in the character story. Who is it? Todd, I think. Yeah, Todd. I really liked that character, and I wish she had come back. I think I really like that character. Then we have one of my favourite Fifth Doctor stories, actually, and I've said this many times and it still hasn't changed. The Visitation. This is the special edition, with an awesome cover. I love that cover so much. So there we go. The Visitation, the one and only appearance by the Pteroleptals. I think they are referenced in Pandorica Opens, and they were supposed to have been there at the Pandorica, but they were never seen on screen, so I don't really count it. But the Visitation is really cool. It's that robot design is so cool. You know, it's a proper. It's one of those historicals that foreshadows events in history, this being the Great Fire of London. And I just love how, spoilers, the end of the story involves the Doctor inadvertently causing the Great Fire of London when the pterodactyl fires at him. And that's a really cool, interesting thing. The novelisation adds to it quite a bit, actually. It's especially the beginning scene. It's pretty good. Yeah, the pterodactyls are great. Oh, who is it? Oh no! Don't tell me I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name. The guy, Richard Mace. Richard Mace. What's the actor? Oh, he's really famous. Oh, I've forgotten him. Sorry. I'll probably put it there or there or there or there in a text box thing. But he's great. He's so over the top, but he's so cool. I just love the Visitation. Easily an 8 or 9 out of 10. Kinder, incidentally, will probably get a 7.5 out of 10. This, just absolutely great 5th Doctor historical. Buy the Visitation if you haven't, because it's so good. And the special edition is a worthwhile release, actually. Black Orchid, another underrated and overlooked one. It's a 2-parter. It is short, but it's kind of cool, you know. I just remembered I forgot to give 4 to Doomsday a rating. 4. Yeah, Black Orchid, I really like it. I watched it again recently, and yeah, it's a nice, easy watch. You put it on, you're entertained. It's good Doctor Who. I mean, nothing really happens in it that's Doctor Who-y. I mean, it's essentially just helping a family with some, isn't it a murder mystery? With the long lost, with George Orwell. George something. Why can I not remember this? I watched this like recently, a couple of weeks back. I can't remember it. But I really like it. I really like George Cranley. Is it? I don't know. I really like the house. Is the setting is great. That guy, the costume's cool. I just really like it. It's a nice, easy watch. I know Peter Davison hates this story. He tears it to bits in this commentary. There's moments where he's just like trying to find something positive to say. It's an interesting release just for that commentary alone, because it's hilarious how much he hates it. Who wrote this, actually? Terence Dudley. I know, I really like Black Orchid. It's underrated one. 7 out of 10, I think. Wow, okay, we're at Earthshock already. Earthshock, my first DVD review, if you go back to that, is really cringy, but, like, I'm forever leaving that up, because it was my first DVD review. So, Earthshock, really cool story, really great story. That bit at the end of part 1 where the Cyberman appears, you completely, well, obviously it's on the cover, so it kind of spoils it, but in the 80s, no one knew about this, and then suddenly, BAM! Destroy them at once! One of the greatest cliffhangers, if not of the 80s, if not ever. It's so good. And the story's really interesting. Adric dying, no music at the end credits, so good. Earthshock's great, 8 out of 10 for sure, that one. And it's baffling to me that that's not the last story of the season, because I mean, imagine that. Adric dies, the characters look shocked. See you in 6 months. See you for our next season. That's the end of the season, but it's not. Maybe they didn't do that because they thought the kids would be too traumatised by it. But no, we get one more. The notorious Time Flight. With that awful cover. Nyssa looks really weird. Tegan looks okay. Peter Davison looks really weird. And then you've got Khalid there. But you can see where they photoshopped. They haven't even bothered to go around her hair. It's just a cutout from the scene. I do that on PizApp to make my thumbnails and it looks awful then. You can see it there. Oh, wow. It's so awful. But, Time Flight. I don't hate it as much as most, but it's not great. It's an interesting concept, actually. I mean, the title on its own, Time Flight, is really cool. It just doesn't come together on screen. Khalid is laughable. He really is. I don't know what they were thinking, having the master disguised as him, but it kind of brings the season full circle, at least. I mean, Revolver, the Master, escapes, and now he's here to sort of get revenge, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I just wish the season ended with Earthshock. I mean, this ends on a cliffhanger, basically, of Tegan not getting in the TARDIS or something. I can't remember. Just noticed that. On the outtakes thing, it says fluffs and technical gaffes from the story's production. There were production issues like mad with this. So, not the best story to end the season on, actually, and actually paints the season in quite a bad light. So there we go. Time Flight gets a 4. Again, I don't hate it more than most. I don't hate it as much as most, but it's not great. So, out of all of them, there's only like 3 stories that aren't great, and that's Castle Reform to Doomsday and Time Flight. The rest, I think, are just pretty good. I really like Season 19. It's very underrated. For a while, it was my favourite season of Classic Who. Not sure about that now, but it's I like the characters in it. I like the TARDIS team in it. It keeps me returning to it because I enjoy those characters and I enjoy watching them, so it keeps me returning to it often. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, what do you think of Season 19? Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.